L back at it again, doing me, peace and love reflections. My name is Jojo, also known as the Master of Manifestations, and Gizero Fucks, depending on the platform you are on. We here for another Soulful Tunes on Stereo, where we're here every Monday at 11:11 a.m. Central Time. I'm glad to see that Brother Jay and Sister Chocolate Gold can have a moment with us today and enjoy the topic of today. Today's topic is how to accept loss or when to release. It's a moment of detachment, acceptance, and understanding, and bringing awareness to what we do on our everyday lives. Peace be upon y'all. How are y'all days going?
Peace and wellness. My day is going amazing. I'm glad to be here for another episode of Sowful Tunes and getting the soul and spirit.
It may seem like Brother Jay is occupied, but I'm glad to have him here. Hold up out of here, because the rain about to come get us.
No, I don't want to apologize, man. My bad. I lost. Well, I disconnected from Wi-Fi, so please forgive me. Uh, I'm content, and it's a productive day. So I appreciate you guys for having me on as well. This is actually something that I'm looking forward to do, and I'm excited to do because this is something that we all have to go through and grow through. Right here. It's really have to continue to remind myself to work on letting go of the things that don't serve me and only accepting the things that do serve me in the areas that I need the most. So I'm actually excited about it. And I appreciate y'all, but as always, building, growing, and sowing.
Glad to have both of y'all here today. I thought we were gonna have a good day of no rain, at least to get me through the soulful tunes, but it's fine. We're gonna make it through it. So today's topic is about how to accept loss and when to release. We're gonna start with the first part of it. It says how to accept it. How to accept it starts with you. How do you accept it is not an action outside of you. It's not something you can take a pill for. It's not something you can click on a link. It's not something you can get a text. It's not something you can buy. How can you accept loss? It starts with you understanding self. When you understand yourself, you start to say, I understand me so much that this isn't something I need to do. This isn't something I want to see in the future. This isn't something I want to be a part of anymore because I understand what I'm doing as far as me. I can only speak for myself. When I'm doing something, if I get annoyed twice in a row, I'm most likely gonna stop it. Like for real, for real. Like if somebody's talking to me, texting me, communicating with me, trying to work with me, and I get mad twice in a row, I'm I'm starting to seek myself, and I'm asking myself, what's this got to do with me? That's the first question, anyway. Second question, is this really gonna affect what I'm already doing? Third question, does this person really need my intervention? And the reason I use the word intervention is because sometimes you can say, I'm trying to help them, I'm trying to assist them, I'm trying to work with them, I'm trying to build with them, and that's really not the reason you there. You just think that that's the reason. The word intervention really covers a lot of the connectivity within the connection, right? So is this my intervention worth here? I don't know if it's worth there, but if I'm aggravated, I'm frustrated too many times, I'm most likely to say this not for me. That's how I accept loss. Because once I realize that this is something I'm I'm unbalanced with, let's call it that, I start to say I'm ready to detach. So I've already accepted the detachment sequence. I've already become aware to it's creating imbalance in my energy. I've already tapped into myself, asked myself multiple questions. so that I can make sure it's not due to pettiness, it's not due to lack, it's not due to past problems surfacing up, triggers being pushed and awakened. I'm already addressing myself. That's where awareness comes from. If you're not aware of what things are going on with you, you can't really balance out how to accept loss. I already see it gone. So I already accepted it gone. It's the people that I gotta detach from that have yet to accept the loss. But hopefully they start to become aware of themselves, become aware of the situation, and then they ready to release. Some people not ready to release, and that's not your fault. When you ready to release something, release it. It don't matter about what that other person going through, because what that other person going through is actually harming you. So it's like saying my foot is in the fire, I'm burning, it's burning off, it really hurt, I'm bleeding everywhere. But this fire here is keeping the house warm, but it's out of control. But I'm gonna keep my leg here because the people upstairs need it. Something ridiculous. The reason I'm making a ridiculous scenario is because it's ridiculous to do. Okay, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense because if your leg on fire, why you care about the people upstairs getting heat? You don't. Your leg is on fire. All right. That's how ridiculous it is when you sticking with something and it's bothering you, it's harming you, it's taking your time and energy. Detach. What do y'all have thoughts upon on this topic here before we go to the next part of the
Well, I want to say I definitely agree with you. It does have to start with awareness because, like you said, sometimes things annoy us. And I believe that sometimes things annoy us or things don't go smoothly or things don't work out the way we want them to because they're not supposed to go that way, or because there's something else that needs to be seen, that needs to be dealt with first, right? We deal with the stuff on the surface so much we forget that there's underlying things that are going on and other energies that are at play. So I agree that whenever something is going on, or I'm losing something, or I feel like a loss, or I feel like, I'm losing something, or something is not coming the way it's supposed to, or going right, or doing right, I always look at what other energies could be at play. Is it something that I need to change about how I'm doing it or what I'm doing? Is it something that I did that messed it up and made it so that it's not working for me? Is it something that I did that repelled it away from me? You know what I mean? Or is it just something that ain't really meant for me? Is it something that's not going to give me what I need in that moment? Or do I need to look for something better, right? Because I think of loss just like death, right? Because a lot of things that we lose, we don't really lose it. It's just that it needs to be transformed and transmuted into something different. You know what I mean? Or it needs to end in that space to be able to be more successful at a later time and a later date in better energies and better circumstances. So I agree with that. And the way that you accept it is you just accept it. You know what I mean? We it's not that we can't accept the things that are going on. It's just that we so emotionally imbalanced that we hold too much emotion to things. We attach too much emotion, right? So when we clearly see that something needs to be let go, or something needs to go its own way, or something needs to be, removed from our lives, it's not that we don't see that it's hurting us or that it's not in alignment with what we want. It's just that we have these emotions attached to them. And I'm someone who deals with things more logically than emotionally. So it's really easier for me to say mind over matter than it is some people. But that's basically what it is. You got to recognize and realize that it ain't for you, or you got to accept that it's gone. And if it was for you, then it wouldn't have left, or it'll come back at another time. Like I said, in better circumstances, among better energies, in a better way, because everything that dies or everything that ends is going to do that because that's what it's meant to do. Nothing is happening against you. Nothing is attacking you. Nothing is like, I don't want to be bothered with you. I'm going to die. I'm gonna go here. I'm going to go there. No, it's happening for a reason. And it doesn't have to do with you all the time. It's just something that has to be.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate and agree with both of y'all. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Jay.
Okay, cool. But yeah, no, I definitely agree and appreciate both of those viewpoints. Just speaking of it from a personal standpoint, and even from a subjective and objective standpoint, detachment and acceptance is one of them things where it happens in steps, it happens in sequences, and you got to be able to go through the cycle, right? Because oftentimes, like when we need to detach, of course, it's because you're attached, right? And then that attachment comes with emotion, and it comes with feelings, it comes with invested time and energy. And but the thing is, when you detach, it has to come from a logical place, but then an emotionally intelligent place. And this is the tough part right here because oftentimes people are driven by emotions or thoughts that control emotions that control thoughts, which fuel actions. So it's like for a fact, like in your heart, this is the battle between heart and mind. You know what I'm saying? You know for a fact, but that I need to detach from this because it's this energy that I'm operating in, whether it's a person, a place, or a thing, is stagnant energy. It is not serving me anymore. It is detrimental, probably in some instances. And I have to love myself enough. I have to care for myself enough. I have to, honor myself enough and the other person as well to detach and to progress, right? Because like I said, we're stagnating at that point. And then that's the battle that people face. That's the battle that I faced, and that's the battle that a lot of people tend to face. But it just boils down to having that growth mindset and understanding that hey, no growth will be had if I'm continuing to operate in this space, right? If I'm continuing to remain in this place, this plane of existence, with dealing with this person, this place, or this thing, I won't allow myself the space and opportunity that I need to grow. I won't be planting the seed of growth. I'll be continuing to live in that stagnation. I'll be continuing to live in that energy and in that space. And then now, you're unwilling to accept the fact that you need to detach, or it makes it a bit harder because it's already viewed as something difficult, right? It's never viewed as something necessary. It might be known as something that's necessary, but the overwhelming emotion would be this is difficult. I invested time in this, I invested energy into this. It's uncomfortable to do. And then of course you get trapped in those old thoughts, those old behaviors, those old feelings of comfort in whatever it is that needs to be detached from, and you end up prolonging the detachment, and then of course you prolong and hinder yourself in a multitude of areas, which lead to decrease and not increase. So as long as we're in the spirit of continued increase and ensuring that we're able to sow seeds of flow, right? Of sow seeds of movement and ensure that we're not stagnating. That's the way to overcome it. But you gotta be able to separate, like Sister Chocolate said, thinking about it from a logical standpoint, that emotion, those feelings that drive those fuel, those thoughts that fuel those actions and things like that. So it's definitely a balance in that. It can be overcome with diligent and conscious effort, but it takes a lot, and it takes you have to when detaching, you have to be progressively and actively working towards getting a new habit put in place because you're detaching from a person, place, or thing. I'm not saying you got to replace them with something, someone, but you got to replace it with something. Just like you're quitting smoking cigarettes or you're quitting doing something that you've done for quite a while. If remove that one thing, you have to replace it with something positive in its place in order to ensure that nothing negative trickles down or transpires from that.
I agree with both you guys' standpoints. The effect of negativity, which to me and all those who've been plugged into Sowful Tunes over and over again, you understand me, or if you plugged into my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, my Minds account, my Twitter account, you can find that in the link here on my profile on Stereo. If you plugged into any of those things, you also know how I stand on the definition of what is negativity. Negativity is anything that takes away from the energy that is. So I don't care if it take away 5 points less than a percent. I don't care if it take away 10, 50%. I don't care if it take away a minuscule amount of time, energy, physicality, emotions. If it take away from anything, it's negative. All right, you a negative person if you're taking away people's time, if you're taking away their clothes, if you're taking away from the store, you a negative person. If you take away from their intelligence, you a negative person. So anything that you take away is considered a loss, right? So you in the negative. Now, if you have something and it's taking you into the negatives, it's a loss. Now, are you going to accept that it's taking you to a negative, it's dragging you down, or are you going to continue to be positive about the situation and try to win its way back up to positivity? It's mathematically incorrect to do. Scientifically speaking, don't do it. Shouldn't do it. Won't do it. I won't do it at least. Because a negative and a positive equals a negative. That's just math. You know what I'm saying? So if you have somebody, you're positive about something, I don't care if it's a business, a situation, an environment, and everything around you is just negative, you're going to come out to equal what? Whatever harvest, increase, or result comes out of it is going to be negative. For me, I see a lot of people want to be my quote unquote friends. And y'all already know, at least those in the panel here already know how I feel about friendship. I don't do with that because it's so negative. Let's say it like that. It takes so much energy away from me to have friends. And when you have them friends and you're doing business, friends always want to do what? Take away from your business at a cheap rate, at a discounted rate, all in the sake of friendship, all in the sake of ships. So I don't do ships like that, yo. The word business and partners don't have a ship inside. They either in the ship or they not in the ship. You see what I'm saying? So you got all these friendships and they taken away from your time, they taken away from your energy. You start to say things like, I'm okay with you gone because I am going to receive my energy back. When I lose you, I'm okay with it because now I have all the space that I need all the time. You start to feel better when certain people leave your presence. So I consider everybody as something that one day will be lost. I don't want to say certain words because y'all triggered sometimes those that's listening, and also words cast spells. So I'm just gonna say that I be okay with losses because I know that everything in life ends at some point. So to get attached to anything, I don't care how beautiful, how much money, how desirable, how much you like it, how attached you are to it, it's all going to be released. So why not accept the release? Why hold on to it? We got some messages.
Hey, before you,
Yes, there is there is wisdom and self-love in detaching from something, from someone that is not serving you well, that not serving you well, or maybe you even them, maybe because it's just it could be a plethora of things. You guys, it just the vibrate, the energy isn't there, the connection isn't there, or maybe it's just that right now at the level that you're at don't mesh with the level that another person is at, or maybe it's not that can't mesh, but it's just it doesn't fit for right now, and that's okay. But detachment, and it is for the other person as well, to allow them to be and flourish in what they need to go through to be the person that lives in their soul purpose.
Exactly, I can concur. And it is a level in which we all have to come into understanding. My family taught detachment at a high level. It's so much that when people would say you have selected hearing, we agreed to them. And we felt like it wasn't a bad thing. Ma'am or sir, can you let me do my stuff? All that chirping. All that chirping. Anyway, it's all the animals, they want something, they don't know how to detach. And they limited themselves because they afraid that there is a loss gonna happen. Loss of food, loss of time. The rain done took their house. I get the bird. I get what it want, but it's doing too much. I'm trying to talk. It's doing the most. But anyway, I've accepted that I was gonna lose the space that I was in. So I just decided just to move. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and fight a bird. I accepted it. A lot of y'all need to accept stuff and stop always trying to change stuff, trying to take matters into your own hands. Just remove yourself. Accept it and remove yourself. Accept it and position yourself to receive. You can't receive anything in the negative. Financially speaking, your bank account in the negative, right? Somebody cash app you. They cash app you less than or equal to what you in negative for. How much did you receive? Nothing. You've received absolutely nothing. You did get it. Somebody did give you the cash app, right? But in your understanding, you still was in the negative. And now you in the positive. But at the same time, you didn't grow. See what I'm saying? You grew, but it's like unrecognizable. You moved in a way that said, I'm good, but I still can't use that. It's good for you now that the next time somebody cash app you, you can possibly increase. But you standing in a negative is gonna cause stagnation. Because imagine you negative $15. Somebody cash app you $15. What you in? Stagnation of zero. What you gonna do with that? Wait for the next one, work more for the next one. Time and energy, subtract your time and energy subtracting from the work equals how much your profit is. And your profit is at what? Whatever that is. So you still in the negative, but you gotta subtract time and energy from whatever else you're doing to get to that next level. Working on ourselves to remain outside of stagnation keeps you always in the positive. If you can work beyond stagnation, you will always be in the positive, which leads us to when to release. Knowing when to release. When you feel yourself coming into the realm of stagnation, that is when you need to release. I don't care if you can see stagnation happening tomorrow, if you can feel stagnation happening at that instant, if you can feel stagnation about to happen. Release it. It's like walking with somebody on the cliff. You look ahead, you see the cliff is real small and narrow, and only one of y'all can get on it. The person in front of you talking about, we can go, let's try it. You see that it only one person can do, and y'all both connected. What you gonna do? You gonna release yourself from the connectivity and say, no, you going up ahead. Or are you gonna be like, we both can make it, and you know for a fact that you both can't make that. And now you on the I lost my balance TikTok, what they call that mess. Them people that be digging in them caves, they be climbing in them caves, them climbing in them caves, getting stuck and whatnot. You're gonna be one of them videos. He was stuck in the cave, 3,000 feet. Nobody could find him. He was calling for help, but he knew he was the only one in the cave. That mess is ridiculous. And that's how y'all be looking, hanging on to things that you knew for a fact it had time to be released and the losses was there, and you hanging on. When do you release? when you can feel the claws and the spirit of stagnation upon you, that's when you release. That's when you release. A lot of y'all say, no, 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 I want to be drugged through the mud. I want to be beat up. I want to stay with my baby daddy. He been beating me for 7 and 10 years. And now at our third baby, I decided it's time to leave. I don't got no leg and I'm missing a tooth, but it's time to leave. That don't make no sense. Because you didn't follow when to accept the loss, and now you don't know when to release. You should have released when he beat you the first time. That should have been something that you should have left from. But now you waited 10, 15 years to stick into it, talking about, I didn't want to leave the children. Something wrong with you. You working at a job 50 years talking about the income and the paycheck being the same. And I've been struggling and doing the same and paying the bills, doing the same. I can't leave nowhere, can't go nowhere. My house is the same. You was aware of the loss. You just didn't know when to release. You should have released when you said, okay, year one, let's see if I can get a promotion. Year two, this seemed like the same thing I was doing last year. You should have been working towards release. And then if you was able to go past that point of stagnation after working toward release, you can do something with that. But if you're working toward release and you see it still being in stagnation, it is time to go. I don't play that. Like, when I used to work them 9 to 5, they'll tell you in a minute. You done got on my nerve twice. You done called me in the office twice. I'm working toward release. I'm working toward it immediately. You not finna get me and handle me and then think I'm gonna stick around. I won't. I won't. It's no way you can do that. And every last one of them be like, Jojo, you came in late. Uh-huh. And you know where I live. Okay. We do know where you live. We know what your situations is, but you keep coming in late and we feel that this, that, and the other. I say, all right, well, this is the best I can do. And they say, okay, this is the best you can do. Then they ask me the same stinking question again. Jojo, we know this is the best you can do, but can you, this, what I just tell you is the best. You know what? You right. That'll come out my mouth at the end of that conversation. You sure right. The next time they see me, I'm asking for a meeting. Hey, y'all, can we have a meeting next Friday, next Thursday, next week? They be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just call us for a meeting. Things are changing. No, just turn it in her 2 weeks' notice because she's noticed where the loss was. She also knew it was time to release. Friendships. I see you coming a mile away. Just don't want to be your friend. I've already released you. I've done it so quickly because as soon as I see you utter the words, I want to be your friend, I've released you. Because you obviously don't know me. You want to be a friend with somebody who you don't know. That's insanity. You've been released. People I work with, I start to work with you and you start to show me stagnation. I've already seen the time lost. I'm just telling y'all this straight up. I'm already thinking of time lost. How much of my time will go into this project if they continue to do this, that, and the other? I've already calculated time lost. And then I do what? Prepare to be released. You think that the release is on just one end, you letting something go, but it's also it letting go of you. Okay? Release and relief is real close to being twins, but relief is a feeling you feel after you released. But when you being released, it's like, thank the Lord. That man let me go, and I've been trying to break up with him for a long time. That woman stopped charging me child support, so I was finally able to eat correctly how I want to eat. Man, that kid finally grew up. Now I can stop paying child support, and now I can work on the relationship with my children. A lot of y'all don't know that that's a thing too. Y'all over here talking about child support is getting to you, but if you can make it through them 18 years, you can finally enjoy the children. Because before the 18 years and you doing that child support, you're not enjoying the children. You counting your losses the whole time. Every time you pay that child support, you like, man, I'm negative this amount. I'm negative this amount. When you see your kids, you look at them and your mind say, I love them, but I'm negative this amount. And until you no longer have to pay that child support, you can't enjoy them because you see them as a loss. You also see being able and being ready to release them because you're looking for an opportunity to stop having that loss put upon you. If you could only understand that y'all all create these problems around just you, all based on you not wanting to accept loss. it's hard. Child support actually was based on not accepting loss. I'm just saying. People who get fired and they don't want to give you your workers comp is also based on the foundation of not accepting loss. People suing you for things that are small. So and so wrecked her car against my car, and now she didn't have the insurance, and now I'm suing her for this, that, and the other. I got court fees. I gotta go take time off of work. I gotta find somebody to watch my kids while I do this court. You didn't allocate the amount of loss versus what's going on, and all that stuff like that be happening based on not being able to accept loss. Y'all, I accept loss all the time. I don't even see it like that. Like as soon as, like for example, somebody had me come out their truck and he said my door is locked. I had already seen 5 ways of escaping this vehicle. If something was to go wrong, I'd already witnessed loss. I lost your vehicle, loss of your brakes, loss of your tires, loss of your gas, loss in general, loss of control. I already calculated that's when I got in the vehicle. So I already had my escape route. He was like, my door don't work. I said, yeah, normal as well. He's like, you got to jump over, but watch out. Don't trust that panel right there. I said, man, I don't trust nothing, let alone these pieces of your truck. Anyway, like the whole truck ride, you telling me about parts you need to fix. I'm just like, yeah, yeah, Next time, don't pick me up in this. You know what? Scratch the next time, don't pick me up. Don't pick me up no more. Just if this gonna be your ride, don't pick me up no more. This is where my mind be calculating. I've already accepted the release. I've accepted that when I tell him don't pick me up no more, he gonna be offended and he not gonna pick me up no more. I don't care. That's why I say that all the time. I don't care. Why they say JoJo say she don't care all the time? Cause she really don't care. She's already accepted the loss. You see what I'm saying? Divorce, paperwork, all that stuff. Marriage is the acceptance of not understanding that you are going to be the on the other side of loss. When you don't accept that, you like, I'm not gonna be the one harmed. Why you need all that paperwork? Cause you have yet to accept loss. You see what I'm saying? Y'all have funerals because you can't accept loss. You have all these agreements, these prenups, because you can't accept loss. All of the paperwork is based on what? Not accepting loss. Because if you could just accept loss, you could just say it is here or it is not here. I either gave it to you or I didn't. Most relationships are broken up with because they can't accept loss. I don't care if it's you took my stuff, I paid money on you, I paid money for you, I took you on a date, you ate all the chicken at the table, you ordered a second dish, you took the money out of my account, you made me pay for the date. I don't care if it's we had a kid and the kid died and now we can't look at each other no more. You can't accept loss. These things you might be emotionally pulling at you, but it's not the whole lifespan of yourself. It's because you can't accept the loss in these moments, in these minutes, in these seconds, in these hours that actually change your entire life. Just accept the loss, yo. Accept the L. I watch men throw themselves at me, and I clearly look them in the eye and say, I don't want you. I'm not attracted to you. I don't like you like that. I don't even want to do business with you. Why are you always throwing yourself out here, shooting your shot to a woman who has said no because they haven't accepted loss? Why they come to my house whistling, honking horns? Can't accept release. I've released them. I've taken the L. Why can't they? They go through all sorts of ridiculous motions and actions to get my attention. But for what? Because they can't accept loss. Y'all, it's not that hard. A lot of people who be raping people and dragging people off and forcing relationships, they can't accept loss. You got kings and queens doing this whole assigned marriages. Why? Because they can't accept loss. When you learn to accept loss, the world around you change. The tree does not lose the branch and cry. It don't tally. I lost 5 branches this week. Next week, I think if I lose 5 more, man, I'ma lean to the left. Oh God, if I lean to the left, the sun come up in the morning. I can't live like that. The tree just start growing new limbs, y'all. Why y'all can't just look at the loss, release it, and grow something else, grow somewhere else, build somewhere else, do something else? You can't take the loss. Take the L, y'all. Take the L. Because if you don't take the L, on the other side of the L is laughter. People laughing at you because you can't take the loss. You so worried about the loss, you can't see people laughing at your goofy ass because you can't take the loss. Somebody is out there laughing at you. Don't think they not. For every loss is somebody laughing. You can write that on the shirt. I tell y'all, I said that. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, tell somebody you lost something. See how many people around you laugh. One person be like, "Oh, let me help you find it." Another person be like, why you lose that? You so ridiculous." The other person may be like, "Oh, I got something for you. You can have mine." There's always somebody on the other side ready and happy to laugh at you. You lose your balance and trip, somebody laugh. You drop your food, somebody laugh. You lose your girl, somebody laugh. You guys gotta understand what's going on. When you really look at things, there's always another side to the coin. But when you're losing things, accept it. Because then when you accept it, you're ready to release it. When you're ready to release it, it hits you in multiple areas: mind, body, soul, spirit, understanding, spirituality wise. Because the spirituality wise is not just in the spirit, it's in your other stuff. You know, y'all like that stuff, astrology and all that stuff. It hits you in them areas. So when you realize these things, y'all, and you get into acceptance. Acceptance is a word. It runs around with addition. It runs around with awareness, awakening. It's the first stages when you go through something. It's an A word. Acceptance. Accept that mess and move on. Stop holding on to it because it's taking away, moving you into a negative realm. I don't care which realm it is, which path it is. It's always moving you to a negative realm when you can't release something that's harming you. Release it. Because at the end of the day, you the only one being harmed. The other person is laughing at you because they holding on to you. They most likely don't release you, and you holding on to them, and they laughing at you for holding on. Most likely, because best believe all these men that throw themselves at me, and I've said, no, I've talked to somebody else and laughed and said, I done let these men go, and he's still here. You see what I'm saying? I'm laughing with them. Laughter ain't always ha ha ha. Laughter is in, y'all, I'm telling y'all this mess, really dig into this, look at this shit here. You see what I'm saying? These the words, this nigga here, is a laughter statement, and it may not be seen as laughter, but it is. You guys got to understand. It's time. Let that mess go. It's holding you back. All that mess hold that hoopty ass car you driving. It's holding you back. Somebody laughing at you driving, and you won't let it go because it's old, or if you won't let it go for sentimental values, you won't let it go because of whatever reasons. Accept the loss. It's taking all of your time, energy, and your money. Accept the loss and release it. Anyway. That's what I got to say about that. Y'all can plug into any of that right now, because that's all I had to say to that.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. You just done blessed everybody game with that one, you know what I'm saying? That's why I love it and appreciate it when you got something on your spirit that, you know what I'm saying, that, you gotta put into the universe. It'd be some gems, it'd be some gold. And that's why I've been building with you for so long. I enjoy the way your mind operates, and, it's a beautiful thing to see, hear, understand, appreciate the mental balance that you have, or the plane in which you operate mentally is beautiful. It's awesome, man. So people are hoarders. And that's the part of the reason why they don't want to release. You know what I'm saying? They're natural hoarders. So like just in nature, like innately, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to release. anything. Well, because people aren't givers. They're not tithers. They don't donate. They don't give abundantly from the heart for the sake of, helping others or giving others increase, not knowing that this is how you gotta let it go so you can make room for what's next. You know what I'm saying? It's the a part of the vacuum law of prosperity. If you got something in the way blocking what is meant for you, like that's why when you release things, you get increase. You know what I'm saying? You making room for the next phase, the next stage, the next wave that's up in that ladder in that pecking order of increase that's for you. But you can't have anything in your way, uh, blocking you from getting that increase. And that's what impacts a lot of people. That's what is hurting a lot of people. That is what is hindering a lot of people, you know, and when you let go of the things that are holding you down, it's funny because you ever had a significant other that you was dealing with. Anytime y'all took a break, anytime y'all stopped talking, just whenever you finally broke up with them, like you always got, you know what I'm saying, got the increase, like your life always improved. You always got like, you know what I'm saying, more physically fit or more financially set or you know what I'm saying more mentally in tune or aligned or whatever, like you found alignment, you know what I'm saying. It always comes from that stagnant energy blocking you and you not wanting to let go and you wanting to hoard whatever it was that's holding you back, just like you hoard everything else that's holding you back. You got to have a spirit of increase and servitude, and people don't understand. Like, man, that's why being natural is like the caveat to all of this. You know what I'm saying? Because if you maneuver in a certain behavior, you or think in a certain manner, you gain certain levels of insight that suggest that you should operate in a specific way. And this is this level of understanding is where you essentially learn how to maneuver to get increase, consistent increase. And don't get me wrong, it ebbs and flows. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna fluctuate. That's just a law. You know, so it's not gonna always be up, but it's gonna. But if I continue to sow and operate in a certain manner, I will naturally get a certain result. It's funny. It can be on the smallest level. And I normally don't, I mean, I do stuff for people all the time. Spirit tell me to do something, I gotta do it. I don't care if it's money related or offering, my physical services or whatever the case may be. But last night I had a situation. I forgot to grab something on the way to do something. And of course, it led me to end up being at a certain place at a certain time, a QT gas station at a certain time, where a brother was in need of a boost, And of course, Spirit says, hey, we're not gonna watch guys struggle. Boom. Now you do it. Then I go in there, I just go get some ice because I forgot to get some on my way to the destination. And of course, like, oh, that all you getting? Yeah. Oh, no, it's good. I got my card out ready for you. I'm like, you sure? Like, yeah, man, appreciate, man. Thank you so much. And that was just so kind to me. And it made my soul smile and sing. And then, that was the increase. Like, oh, I did this for this person right here and offered them some advice and gave them, whatever knowledge that I could to, if my boy was struggling, he didn't know how to put on the jumper cable. He finna shock himself. I'm like, hold on, man, I got you. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I ain't know it was like that. So, but it's just, but that was just a act of kindness I did. Of course, Spirit told me, I don't care if I see you walking. I don't care if I'm just, I see you in need. Don't matter what it is. If I see you in need, however I can be of service, I'm gonna do it. Especially when Spirit tells me, like, it forces you, like, I gotta do it. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So, but then right after that, boom, increase for me. And I'm so grateful for everything. It's just like that little kind, little act of just a free cup of ice. You know what I'm saying? It filled me up. And it started from me filling someone else up. You got to be as Bob Proctor says, you got to be a willing giver and a gracious receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to give willingly. And because if you got to think about it, you're trading, you're not giving. You know what I'm saying? But that's just being open enough to receive. You know what I'm saying? Having a spirit of abundance, servitude. You get your increase from doing that, and you don't do it for the sake of the recognition or whatever the case may be, or to promote it or whatever. But that's the beginning of receiving. And you want to be an abundant giver because the universe is abundant, but people aren't abundant. People have scarcity mindset. It's that bitch brain. That's what I call it for myself. It's like I'm a little, that little small voice in your head. That's that scarcity mindset. You know what I'm saying? It hinders you and keeps you down. So they hold on to things, hoard things, and they miss increase continuously. They live in lack, and that's where you got to grow, and you got to grow in those ways too, to be consistently in a spirit of increase and not be in lack. And it's done in multiple ways. Some people it's less is more. Some people gotta have like more is more. They gotta keep climbing that ladder. You got minimalists and natural people. They don't need it. They don't require. They need what is provided, what's given, and they're content. And that's what it's about as well, contentment. And people, man, so it's yeah, that's yeah. So I get to run my mouth. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. That mindset of lacking or not having enough is a lot of the reasons why people don't want to let go of things. They feel like they gonna need it or they need it or they don't want to let it go because then they won't have it, right? They feel like they're lacking something. But loss isn't equivalent to lack. And like you said, that energy, when you give, stuff comes back to you. When you let something go, things can come in. You got to make room for these things. And we intuitively know when to release things. We know when we need to get something out of our lives. We know when we're tired of something. Like we know when something needs to be removed from our life. We know when things aren't working. You know what I mean? But we try to hold on to things because we don't want to lose them or because we think that we could change it or something would be different. Stuck in that cycle of insanity, right? But that's the worst thing to do. The best thing to do is just let things go and release them. And sometimes you got to release things and people because, a lot of times we enable people not to grow and not to be better because we keeping them around when we shouldn't be keeping them around, when we should be releasing them so that they can learn a lesson that they need to learn to be better. It's not always about us and it's not always about loss, right? Because you don't really lose things that don't belong to you. People don't belong to you. You know what I mean? You could never really lose people. They're not your property. So when we're talking about people, you release them when it's time to release them, when your heart says so, when they getting on your nerves, when they constantly keep disrespecting you, when they constantly doing stuff that you don't ask them not to do, when they don't take you into consideration. That's how you know when to release things. You intuitively know. But like I said before, you got an emotional attachment, an unhealthy one. And that's what it comes down to. Being more balanced in your emotions to be able to let something go that's not good for you. Because if you, again, holding on to a person that's not treating you right, how's the one that's going to treat you right supposed to come in? If you don't let go of the job that's not paying you right, are you looking for the one that is? Are you going to be available for the one that is? Right? So we know when to release stuff. The problem is actually going forth with releasing it and detaching our emotions from it.
Exactly, y'all. It is a level that we must do. In the cycle of life, there's always release. And in the cycle of life, there's always receiving. We talk about the sowing spirit, which is a give and a receive, but we don't talk too much about what it takes to get to the receptive side of things, which is the act of letting go. You can give something and let go of all attachments to it in order to receive something back. You think that I gave you $10, I'm gonna receive $20 later in some way, shape, or form. But what you don't think about is that the letting go process is there. To give is to let go. And when you let go of the attachment of what it is that you let go, it takes you to a different level. And that's what changes a sower to somebody who is just out there just giving things away. I think I read it somewhere, they say a fool gives everything away at the extent of its own needs and wants and desires. You can be a person out there just giving your money away. Say you got $3 million, you just start giving your money away, giving it free, giving it here, giving it there. You turn around and realize you ain't got no money for yourself to live. That didn't make no sense. But a sower be like, yo, I'm giving you this, but I'm sustained by that. And I know that it's coming back, but I've let it go because I know it's not my life. I'm not gonna have $1 million and give you three-fourths of that $1 million and be struggling. That makes no sense because when I count that as a loss, I'm at a loss dramatically. It's not balanced, it's not in harmony. A sower understands the harmony and balance of giving and taking, the harmony and balance of when to let go, when to count the loss, and when to release. If you're not aware of these moments in your life, you are not aware of your life. At the end of the day, you are just as blind as the people you call sheep. You are just as deaf as the people as you call the deaf, or the ones that don't have the ears to listen. Y'all, I just sent an airdrop out for the Block Cycle Labs sowing seed collection. If you purchase the Seed Oracle number 4, you uh-oh, I had a typo. I gotta go back in there. You should have received your Seed Oracle. No, you should have received your Persilium token. You should have received 100 of those Persilium tokens. So I had to block out because my mind clicked in and clicked out real quick because I realized I see a typo on my video and it should be something different. Let's see if I can erase that real quick. But anyway, y'all, we out here taking the losses. We out here showing what we can do and being okay with the results. If you can't be okay with the results that you're giving or you putting out there, then don't do it. It don't make no sense for you not to. It makes absolutely no sense. Make more sense with yourself. Y'all, we coming to the end of this show, and I'm ready to get up off here and get better to get the money going. Why? Because I'm out here sowing and growing, and it's Money Monday. This is when I start to manifest and be mindful of what I'm manifesting so that I can grow and sow my way out. And people in the panel, is there anything else you want to let the people know before we end this show?
Yeah, most definitely, man. I appreciate you for, as always, for allowing me to sow and grow and build with you. It's always a pleasure and an honor for me. But you can definitely follow me on all platforms, Stock Market J. Link. I have a link in my bio, my link tree on there. You can go to it. I'm most active on Facebook. I'm building a dope community, man, and I want everybody to come, take part of and we get the coaching going. I got a wealth of resources, free resources, from the ebook to, of course, videos, educational videos that are really, benefit you in a lot of ways, in a multitude of ways. I encourage you to join the community, Stock Market Education Center on Facebook, and of course, we'll also get you in the Block Cycle Labs, in the school on school platform where we're, have our courses or materials on a daily basis that you can most definitely receive increased from. And, just it's something amazing happening. And I definitely want as many people Is I can possibly find. It's imaginable to come join me on this journey uh, in the spirit of increase. Because I promise you, the more you learn, the more you earn. And at the end of the day, who don't want to, learn how to make money every day? That's what it boils down to. So I'm here to help. Catch my podcast, Stock Market Tour Guide on all platforms. And always have your pen and pad. 'Cause I promise you, Stock Market J ain't on the play, but that's it.
Indeed. And again, I'm Chocolate Gold here, Virgo Sun and Soil. The best way to figure out what I got going on and what I'm doing is to go to my bio and click that link and join my Telegram channel, or follow me on Telegram at Cultivator Gold. I'll be over there tomorrow doing a business tools class in which I'll be teaching about the 8 systems that every business should have set in place to ensure that their operations run smoothly and for them to expand in their business. So that'll be tomorrow at 4 p. Again, if you go over to my Telegram channel, you can see the link there and register your seat. I'll be here on Stereo on Wednesday for Words of Wellness. Like I said before, I'm not going to do Words of Wellness at a set time each week because it's varying what my weeks are looking like now that I am expanding. So just make sure you're following me over there so you can get the notification when I go live, or you're following me on Telegram. I will put a notification up before I do. And then I'll be back here on Friday for Financial Freedom Friday at 5 p. EST. Until then, y'all keep sowing and growing and be well.
Awesome, y'all. We're gonna be here Monday at 11 a.m. Central Time for another Soulful Tunes. And also, as Sister Chocolate Gold has said, we're going to be here for Financial Freedom Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Y'all check in and find out what we all about by going to the links here in our profile, by following us, and hitting the notification button to make sure you on time, or just catching the replays to whenever the replays are available to you. Yeah, we're gonna continue to work together, sow together, and find out different ways we can grow. If you want to find out how you can help grow and sow with us, check out the Forest Restoration Project via Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You can also just make it easy for yourself and click the link here above my head, or go to my StereoAPP profile and click or copy and paste that link. All of it's divine, all of it's together, all of it's in unison. Y'all, I'm done for the day. Y'all keep sowing and growing. And again, my name is JoJo, also known as the Master of Manifestation. It gives zero fucks depending on the platform you are on. Peace be upon y'all, so on and so forth.
Peace.